Well, afternoon chaps. Decided to come back out today and back out on the low resistance link leisure setup and Shimano Purist river feeder with a 2-ounce quiver tip. Gonna do maybe fish 1 or 2 swims. I might fish more swims than that, but we will have to see because I haven't got out that early. It's actually coming up for around about 1:45, so I might plump for fishing just a couple of swims and fishing a little bit more static, but play it by ear. I might fish a few more swims than that. I've got with me cheese paste, which is my cheese paste that's krill, garlic, milk powder, blue cheese and mature cheddar cheese paste. I've also got Palatrax meat beast paste. I've got lobworms, maggots, and of course bread. Now I've got liquidised bread flake with me as well, and that's mixed with a little bit of krill and garlic. So what I'm going to do is, as I say, because it is a little bit later than I normally get out, but I thought, you know, it's a weekend, it's a glorious day regardless, get back bankside and do some fishing regardless of what the time is. So I probably will fish into darkness as well, and as I say, might fish more than a couple of swims or might fish a bit more static. But yeah, it'd be nice to see if I can get amongst a few chub today, or if not during daylight then as light fades, and see what fish there are lurking in a swim or two. And that's just plain and simple is what I'm going to be doing today. Nice, keep it simple tactics and have an enjoyable day's fishing in what is unseasonably warm. I tell you what, unseasonably warm. Who am I kidding? I'm roasting, to be honest, roasting in this, and I've made the mistake of putting chest waders on, but it's not really a mistake. The banks are still muddy and I don't carry a seat always, so it gives me a chance to rest my rear end without getting too messy, but I am actually feeling the heat in these chest waders that I've got on at the moment. So yeah, a little bit roasty to say the least, and my loins are a little bit sweaty. It's probably too much information, but yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully get amongst a chevin or two. Bright conditions, will there be perch about? Well, there is perch about, but whether they're going to feed so vigorously in bright conditions is going to be another matter. I do expect it's going to be tricky going. But yeah, I tell you what, the weather, it is ridiculously, unseasonably mild, and it partially is worrying me, because if this is like this now and it stays like it throughout the year, could be looking at droughts on some rivers. Obviously, we don't know what the rest of the year holds weather-wise, but it always makes me think in advance. You know, if we get hot weather like we had last summer, and it begins to snowball already this year, and it seems, as I say, like we haven't had a proper winter, then could be looking at really low river levels come June the 16th. Anyway, enough waffle. Let's crack on. Let's do a little bit of fishing. First fish, a very brassy, gorgeous golden enamelling young chevin, just on lobworm, fishing just off the edge of the floe. Lovely condition though, brilliant. What a gorgeous looking chevin, and I'm sure when that grows on, it's going to be one heck of a gorgeous fish, as it already is in its juvenile status. Well, that was a bit of a scrap soon as I knew I was into a bit of a wiry fight, I knew it wasn't going to be a chevin. It's an out of season brownie. As always, you can't tell them not to take a lobworm. Nice scrap, lovely condition. I'm sure any fly anglers out there are looking forward to the start of the fly fishing season, as that cool season hiatus begins, so the fly season starts to get ready to kick off. But yeah, welcome nonetheless. Glorious markings on a glorious sunny day. Oh, there we go. It's a nicely built perch. Tell you what, it's already full of spawn as well. I'm guessing that's the mild conditions, but yeah, very podgy, perfectly formed river stripey. And very, very welcome too. Very, very nice. Another tubby perch, very, very welcome. Nice to be finding these. Just finding them off the opposite bank where that slack is, but I've got to admit, in some ways I'd like a shorter rod. I'd like to have brought the ultralight, but then it's easier to cast under these trees using a longer rod, so it swings and roundabouts, but it's making for some very unorthodox landing net skills. But yeah, very, very nice, very welcome, wonderful. Another lovely brassy juvenile chevin, very nice too, just on the lobworm there. Very, very, very picture perfect condition, very nice too. Just making my way back through to fish a few swims before I eventually do head off home. I am going to fish a few of those swims into the cover of darkness, just for a little while, but yeah, very nice too. In on the Meat Beast, Padrax Meat Beast pace. A decent fish. It's a very nice chub. Yes, lovely. That's a nice looking chevy, I tell you guys. Make no mistake, it's a little bit of a breeze block build to it, to say the least. Really nice. Oh yes, very joyous indeed. That was just on the Palatrax Meat Beast paste. I'll show you that in a, well, after I get this fish unhooked and we take a look at the fish. I will show you that in a second. How about that, eh? You can see I'm happy, guys, trust me. 5 minutes in the swim on the Palatrax Meat Beast paste. Very lightly hooked. The hook popped out in the net as I landed it, but as soon as I set the hook, real confident bite, as I say, in the swim, 5 minutes. You can always tell when you've got a battle on your hands from a big chub. It's staunch, it's a hard scrap, it's stoic. They like to hug both margins and really give you a good see into, and this fish was no exception. But yeah, £6, beautiful condition. Look at that, what a cracking example of this species. Happy, happy, happy days. Oh yes, very happy indeed. Anyway, I'll show you the meat beast paste, tongue-tied, and but first get this fish slipped back to its rightful watery home. How brilliant. Right guys, I'm just going to show you what I had that fish on, and that's the following. It's the Palatrax Meat Beast paste. Now you can use it as a hook bait on its own, which I just did. I had that fish on it, and a very nice fish it was too. Or you can use it as a bait wrap. So the company also sell their Meat Beast squabs, which is elliptical shaped boilies that they sell, almost like dumbbells or pillows in their shape, and you can use that as a matching paste wrap. Now believe me, this is very, very pungent, strong leak off in the water column, and as you can see the colour is almost like a luncheon meat pinky red kind of colour, almost a bit like a salmon pink. As I say, it does look like luncheon meat in colour. Now that contains pork, spicy sausage, crab, garlic, black pepper and essential oils. So you can imagine the smell. You've got a crabby meats chorizo sausage smell, a bit like pepperami, and also garlic, black pepper and essential oils, so it's real spicy as well too. And believe me, once you get it on your fingers, it doesn't come off too quick, the scent trail, and that's really good. Well, you know, at the end of the day, fish, you know, pick up scent trails that break down and come along on the water column, and this certainly does that. It's got a good breakdown to it. It's got a nice inclusion of garlic, black pepper, essential oils, crab and spicy sausage, so you can imagine the mixture of attractants wafting off, be that as a hook bait or wrapped around and breaking down on your boilies. As I say, that's why I had that fish on. As you can see, I've been using it a fair amount. I've just, you know, dropped a few balls in this swim, cast out and had that fish. Yeah, really happy with that. But, you know, I like to be always clear, concise and transparent with you chaps. Now, Palatrax have reached out to me and offered to help support the channel by way of, in this case, bait or rig items, be that hook link material or hooks. As you know, they're well known for their wonderful Palatrax the Hook and Grips hooks, and you know from most of my videos I use those, so they have reached out to offer their support. Of course, you know, I'm as cynical as you guys. If I was watching this video, and I know there's a few cynics out there as well, and I don't blame you, if I was watching it I'd say, did he really use that, or did he catch it on his cheese paste? I can promise you guys, I caught it on this. I wouldn't, excuse the term of me swearing, I wouldn't bullshit you. Yeah, it was definitely caught on this. But as I say, being clear and concise and transparent, I want to obviously make it clear that the company has reached out to offer me support in regards to hooks and rig material and some baits as well. But obviously, bearing in mind, I am going to still be using my other baits as well, like my black snail boilies and such, but I will be complementing and also using those alongside these items, like the squabs, like the pastes and the company's other baits. But yeah, as you've seen there, proof in the pudding. It's a really, really nice, stonking, well built chevy. And yeah, as I say, just on the Palatrax Meat Beast paste. Anyway, as I say, always trying to be as transparent as possible, and you know, I can guarantee you, you'll always, if a bait's not working, you always get my honest opinion. If item of tackle's rubbish, I'll tell you about it, promise you that much. Anyway, I'm gonna a quick cup of coffee and try a couple more swims downstream. But to be fair, I'm pretty content. It's been an enjoyable day's fishing, and didn't get down to what, 1:45. So yeah, sometimes the shorter trips can be absolutely brilliant. Anyway, let's crack on and as I say, try another couple of swims downstream. Well, as you're probably no doubt aware, it's come to that time to head off home. Could stay a lot longer, but no. Going to head off home, fish a couple more swims, and a couple of likely spots. Real nice undercut bank in one of the swims, and the other swim has got a lot of debris, some nice rafts, but no bites in those two. And to be fair, I was quite content with the trip in general. You know how it is, guys, when you've had a good trip, had a really nice fish as well, and you try a couple more swims, but you're also very content at the same time and can go home happy. So yeah, really enjoyable. Nice to have those smaller chub at the start, the trout, those tubby looking young perch, and then that 6-pounder on the meat beast pace. It's brilliant, absolutely superb. And yeah, just a joy to always be bankside. Catching a fish is a bonus, and catching some specimen size fish is always an added luxury, and obviously something that I do enjoy doing. When it goes right, that is. It doesn't always go to plan, as you guys know. I'm sure you have the same with your trips. But yeah, it's been most enjoyable. And that said, I have got to be heading off, so if you have enjoyed this rather impromptu trip and video, it would be most appreciated and gladly received if you could consider giving it a thumbs up. That would be brilliant. And if you're not subscribed to my videos, do not hesitate to hit the subscribe button below and the bell icon next to it. That way you'll be kept updated every time I upload a new video. And there's also a good back catalogue of videos to view and enjoy. Now, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to put a comment or two. On top of that, please feel free to share the videos on any of the social media platforms, on your Facebook pages, your group pages, and Instagram, etc., or Twitter. That's always appreciated, as you help me to also grow the channel, and in doing so, you know, a bigger channel can also produce more content in the long run as well. So that would be very, very kind of you. Now, as I said, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to pop a comment in the comment box. I love replying to your comments. Now, granted, obviously, as the channel is growing, it is getting harder to reply to comments as quick as I used to, but I still try to, even if it's 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 days later, I still try to reply when and if I can, whenever it's possible. And obviously bearing in mind that I do other things outside of being able to reply to comments always. So I hope that is, you know, understood, and you can understand that, but I always do try to reply. So if you've got any queries which I could give any advice on, you know, don't hesitate to ask. I do my best to try and help in regards to that, or nudge people in the right direction if they're wanting pointers about certain rivers and that. Granted, I don't always give massive amounts of locality details away with my fishing. That's due to the nature of the beast. When you put videos on YouTube, you're always going to get X amount of people that are interested in where you're fishing, and you know, I'm still always happy though to, you know, give general pointers and nudge people in the right direction. Always happy to. I think, and I stand by this, the rivers need more river anglers. You know, you could look at us in a way, many have done, that river angling is a dying art. So, you know, I'm always happy to welcome more anglers into the fold as such, albeit, you know, giving them a nudge in the right direction. Yeah, as I say, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope during this run up to the end of the course season and that hiatus that's going to follow, I do make it sound like it's a terrible disease, don't I? But by heck, I miss the flowing water once it's a close season. I really do. There's plenty to look forward to. Lots of lakes to fish, etc. And yeah, wherever you're having a dangle during these last few weeks of the season, I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're getting amongst a few fish, and above all, that you're enjoying your trips, because that is what really counts in this life. You know, enjoy what you're doing and appreciate every moment of time bankside. Anyway, till my next video, guys, tight lines, and do take care.